Okay, let's go.
Yep. And I would love to hear, because like similar experiences with both of us, but I would love to hear someone else's story because I've only really truly heard start to finish you and I.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, we can't be the only ones.
No, absolutely
like,
not.
We can't. And it's just
Look,
baffling.
I have someone who's very close to me that was very close to me on the male side of it, who's experiencing it right now. And I'm on the outside looking in, and I can see it all as plain as day in black and white. And it's very interesting to watch it being played out with the female being the manipulator. And this is an extreme. It's like your and I versions. Like, it's an extreme manipulation. This is not just your everyday controlling, manipulative person. It's to an extreme. That's been interesting. But there's nothing I can do. There's absolutely nothing I can do. All I can do is just stand back and watch.
Yeah, because there's only, like, it's the same thing. Like, you see it. You can guide them in suggestion, but they're going to do
Well, what I've told them is, I know how you feel. I've been there. I know that you feel strongly the way you feel. And one day you're going to see what I see.
Absolutely.
And when that day comes, I'll be here to talk to you about it.
Mm-hmm.
In the meantime, they blocked me. But that is the truth. That is the truth. And I say 5 to 7 years. 5 to 7 years, they will come back around. They're going to be heartbroken. I mean, desperately heartbroken, because they're putting their entire heart and soul into this, just like we did. And I'll be there for them as a friend.
It's beyond heartbroken. It's going to be a devastation.
It is life. Well, we both have said it. We both have PTSD from that experience.
It literally will rewire your brain to something else.
Rewire your brain and change the complete direction of your life.
Mm-hmm.
I never, ever, ever would have thought, sitting here at 42 years old, one, that I would be getting to sit here and do this with you, but that I would be doing the things in life that I'm doing.
Yeah.
I told my mom the other day, because we were talking about, because I spend 1 week in Nashville every month, and I'd go back and forth, and it is work, by the way, people. But I told her, I said, if my family was still together and I had my boys all the time, I would give it all up in a heartbeat to be able to just do that again full time. But my life was changed completely from someone else's actions.
And I'm the complete opposite. I would never go back.
Well, okay, I would not go back to him. Let me make that clear. Let me make that very clear. But if I could go back to being a mom full time.
Yeah. I would never go back to that scenario or even anything replica of any of that ever again. And I like having adult daughters now. I don't ever want to put that trauma
and I wonder if
them.
Because I have boys and you have girls is some of the reason. There are differences between you and I, because mine was more covert. Yours is more yours was more outward.
Yeah.
And so there is differences, but I have boys, and so do I see things differently because of that?
It definitely could be a possibility. Like the love bombing scenario and watching them in their relationships, of seeing what boys are bringing into them and those grand gestures, or hearing "I love you" from these boys in a way too soon
all of it.
Scenario than I think anyone should be saying "I love you." I'm like, and I don't.
But how much of it is that just us being normal parents? Because I know what you mean.
Yeah. I don't know. And because, we've all been through therapy, all of us are in therapy except the people that need to be in therapy. Let's be real.
It's not just exes.
Yeah. Right. But I mean, I see love bombing in play in relationships on a constant basis. But like you're saying, there are people that just straight out block you when you start recognizing things and make it known. In a scenario,
it's overwhelming, and when you're in it, you have been essentially brainwashed, and so you really do believe that they have your back, that they're the only person that truly has your back.
Absolutely.
Even if they're breaking your back, you consider that they will even tell you, I am doing this because it is going to better you.
Yep.
I am pushing you. I am bending you. I am molding you to be a better person. And you're like, okay, I don't want to. I don't want to miss. Like, I don't want to be cocky or like I don't want to be arrogant
or ungrateful for what you're trying to
ungrateful.
do for me.
And they'll tell you you're
Yes.
being ungrateful.
Yeah.
So you try to adjust, and you're like, well, hold on. Like, I don't want you to feel that way. So let me do this or let me do that, and it's never enough.
And then it
It's
becomes a
never
guilt
enough.
trip. Like, why won't you just let me help you?
Yeah.
When you become any point of start questioning what's happening. It's like, why won't you just let me help you? And it's like, oh, you're right. You're just trying to help me. No, they're literally slowly manipulating you and brainwashing you into a different direction.
It is perfectly slowed down so that you never recognize. In hindsight, I see it all. And I think most people who've been in relationships like that do.
Right.
But, I mean, even whenever things blew up in my face, it took a minute for... When it blew up, I'll put it this way. When it blew up in my face, I immediately went into, you're absolutely right. I have completely screwed up. I have been a terrible partner. Let me stop anything and everything that's good for me to take care of you. And all that did was start breaking me down.
Mm-hmm.
And the more I broke down, the more they were able to push in.
It's a depletion of yourself that they're doing.
Completely.
They're depleting you, your character, your self-worth to become and mold what they want you to be so that
Well, now I'm not going to fight them.
Yeah, so they can have complete control over you.
Mm-hmm.
And over 10 years, you're exactly what they want you to be after that.
Oh, mine happened very quick. Well, okay, so I was already controlled. I didn't know I was. I would have never admitted I was. I thought I had an equal partnership. I did not. He just very, very smoothly convinced me that I didn't want to have a social life. I didn't want to, like, do all these things. But when it exploded in my face, I went from somebody who had decided to start knocking things off their bucket list because they were 30 and doing things for myself to completely and totally an empty shell of a person within, I don't know, maybe 2 months.
Wow.
2 months, maybe. Everything, morals and standards that I had had my entire life, I was throwing out the window. And I was like, all right, I'll do this. I'll do whatever I have to do. Guess what? The whole time that I was doing that, he was behind my back planning still his exit the whole time. Not during any of that time that I was giving up my soul, essentially, to try to better our relationship, was he doing the same thing. He was using that time to, I saw the physical list, make a physical list of things he brought to his attorney and said, this is why she can't have her children. He was breaking me down to just bury me.
You no longer had any value to him.
I didn't have any value to him before. Yeah.
No, but it reached the point that there was no longer value you had left.
Absolutely.
And there was nothing left to manipulate. There was nothing left to control.
All I was an aggravation or inconvenience.
You were a body in the house. And then it was time to move on to the next one.
And that became very clear with some of the things that he did during that time by using literally my body. Using my body to, as like a toy. And no care or concern at all with how that was going to affect me psychologically. Or our children. Like, how is that going? Even though, like, the kids don't know what's going on, we're their parents. We're their guides. And you're breaking half of that person down. Mm-hmm. To this day, I promise you, he still thinks he did the right thing.
Oh, absolutely. Well, guys, that's going to be our end of our next one. Thanks for joining us for Unapologetic Era.
Dun, dun, dun.
Dun, dun, dun.
That's going to be
we will see you. No. Dun, dun, dun. We will see you guys next time. Thank you. Hit subscribe. Love you.
Bye.
Bye, Alicia.